Welcome back, Sethbling here. Ooh boy! All right, so this is. Let me just adjust this a little bit. Here. Oh no! Ooh boy! All right, so this is. Shush! Shush! No! Oh no! Stupid. Ooh boy! All right, so this is. No. Okay. The stupid dashboard is impossible to use. I hate it. The new Twitch dashboard. I really hate it. Anyway, okay, we're here, and this is probably the coolest thing. Well, okay, I've done some cool things with Super Mario World, but this definitely ranks up there. Hey Flamingo, thanks for the sub. Okay, so today I'm going to jailbreak Super Mario World. Thanks Raison for the sub as well. You may have heard of jailbreaking in the context of things like the iPhone or other consoles. So we're not jailbreaking the console. We're jailbreaking actual Super Mario World. So I have, you can see up here, I have a Super Mario World cartridge plugged in. Who's that? Christopher 1993, thank you for subbing. And then I have a second cartridge right here. Camera's terrible. That I'm going to also jailbreak by copying the jailbreak. And so basically what it's going to do is I'm going to add a hex editor and a mod loader to the cartridge. That's just so that if we load up a save file, it'll just run the hex editor, and you can use that to run the mod loader too. So that's the plan. It's going to look a bit like the Flappy Bird code injection last year. James D.V. Davidson, thank you for subbing as well. Welcome back, James D.V. Davidson here. So yeah, if you haven't already noticed, there is a link in the stream title. It contains route notes. I encourage you guys to go look at that because as I'm doing this, if I mess up and you guys notice... Ninja Jack, did you sub? Yeah. What are you talking about? Okay. If you guys notice that I make a mistake, and you tell me, I can usually correct it. This is not like the Flappy Bird one last year, where if I make a mistake, I just have to start over. I've adjusted the procedure so that if I mess up, I can actually just like undo the last thing I've done and redo it. So, welcome back. Scully LP here, thank you for subbing. The Twitch Prime. Also, welcome back Andrew the Wizard TV here, thank you for subbing. God, are we ever gonna get to the actual jailbreaking? Anyway. Yeah, so it's if you guys can you know point out mistakes that I make, it'll be very helpful. I have my girlfriend Amy sitting next to me. She's gonna monitor the chat and make sure that I notice if you guys are calling me out on a mistake. That's her hand, the famous hand. Yeah. Hey Lambie. Yeah, this is gonna be really cool. Should work. I don't see any reason that I should make any mistakes if you guys are watching out for me. First thing I need to do is delete the save files. Actually, I only need to delete save file C, but I'm just deleting all of them for good measure. And I'm going to start a timer here. I'm just going to run a timer for the whole thing. And I can explain some of this stuff as I'm going too. Yo, WL Richie, thanks for resubbing. No, I have not made a mistake yet. Shush. Okay, so I'm gonna do a timer, so it'll look kind of like a speed run, but it's not really a speed run. But I like to have the timer anyway, just so I know how long things took. I'm also gonna move the camera a little bit. Yeah. All right, Jamie Dev, thank you for subbing. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. So, the beginning of this run is going to look just like the Flappy Bird code injection that I did last year. The way that one worked is I set up a way to write several bytes in sequence to memory, and that was a bootloader. And then the bootloader I used to write a lot more bytes in sequence, and that was the Flappy Bird payload. So, wait, I need that. I'm already. No, what? How did I not hit that? I'm already kind of nervous and messing up. Ah. Okay, I kind of forgot how to play this game. Who just subbed?
Dystopian.
Dystopian. Thank you for subbing. Yeah, so the beginning of this is going to look just like that. First, I'm going to glitch out my power-up state, and then I'm going to do an arbitrary code execution to get a different power-up state, which works better for multiple bytes of writing. And then I'm going to extend the timer, and then in the level, and then I'm going to set up a multi-byte write procedure, which will let me write the bootloader / code injector, whatever you want to call it. And then I am going to write the jailbreak into the cartridge. Actually, no, I'm not gonna write the jailbreak directly into the cartridge. I'm gonna write the jailbreak into memory, and then install it onto the cartridge. Okay, that part's always a little nerve-wracking. It's pretty easy to fall off there. So, theoretically, after I get my power-up states to power-up state 6, I shouldn't really have any, like, difficult execution left. Even that's not very difficult, so... I can crash the game here while I'm trying to do this. But yeah, this is called power-up incrementation. It's a bug that lets you change Mario's power-up state to invalid power-up states. So I have to duplicate that block. If I fail, I just need to start select and try again. But yeah, Mario will start to look really glitchy after I get it the first time. And then he'll have like different palettes, different color palettes each time that I succeed. And I need to do that 3 times. Oh no. Okay, I got the block duplication and I just threw the shell away. That's okay. When I did the Flappy Bird one, I had such a good time on this. Like, I got them all really quickly, all three power-up incrementations. But I'm a little out of practice. There we go. So I have to get on Yoshi, do this little like duplication of Yoshi blocks. I have to stand on a pixel perfect spot here. I need to be one more pixel to the right. There we go. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So I can crash here. It didn't crash. I have to do that 2 more times. Who just subbed? Fireball1725. Thank you for subbing. Sorry if I missed any subs or donations or whatever. So yeah, this is like Tomato Mario or Ketchup Mario or something. So this is kind of how you do the marathon safe credits warp too. It's like the same starting thing, I guess. But it'll obviously diverge from that. Here's like Mario's Halloween costume where he dresses up as Luigi, I guess. Alright, just need one more. There we go. Alright, so that's it. I can still crash the game one more time, but then after that, everything should be pretty safe if I just like take my time and make sure that I do things the right way. Okay, yeah, we're good. Alright. So here we go. Whoops, wrong way. So now I'm power up state 6. From here we can do arbitrary code execution. So that's what I'm going to be doing. The first thing I'm going to do is just do an arbitrary code execution to get my power-up state to a different power-up state. Number 22. Pro Hartis, thank you for subbing. Alright, and I'm going to have to refer to my notes here. Again, stream title has the notes. So, let's see. I am 2 pixels too far to the left. I think it's here, but my notes aren't scrolled down enough. Yeah, we're good. And then, yeah, okay, we're good. So this is kind of just like setting up everything that I need for the actual like code injection. All right, so this part, I found an easier way to do this part here. Oh shoot! Actually, I have to do that again. I forgot to scroll the screen to the left there. Yeah, that would have crashed the game, I think, if I had collected that. Okay, good thing I noticed that. I think it's because I'm talking. It's just like I'm prone to make mistakes. I messed up. Thanks, chat. Yeah. Okay, let me check again. Yeah, this is actually the right spot already. So, okay, I need to make sure I scroll the screen left there. Okay. Yep. This one's just like a simple 3-byte arbitrary code execution. Okay, it's just it's pretty fast to just redo it. So alright, so then I hold A as I walk to the right, and then I basically walk to the right until I hit the ledge, and when the 1-up hits me, everything's good. But I have to be holding A the whole time. Anyway, so this will change Mario into, I don't know what you want to call him, but the palette becomes all black and orange. Okay, so that's that. So now it's a lot easier to ace. I can press select with the mushroom to ace. Or anyway, I can use a mushroom to ace rather than just a 1-up. Is the point. Okay, so I need to do that. Sure. Okay. But I do need to make sure I glitch some berries out. This is like a really easy glitch to do, actually. It looks kind of fancy, but it's very easy. You just have to, if you're running to the left, you just grab the, just put Yoshi's tongue out. Ian Lost, thank you for subbing. Appreciate it. Okay. Where am I going here? Hold on. Alright. Yeah, it's right here.
How long is this supposed to take?
So hold on. It should take under an hour for the first, like, to get the jailbreak installed, and then I'll probably be starting for another hour after that, copying the jailbreak, and then injecting writing in a payload or a mod for the mod loader, and then so yeah, it should be about, I don't know, stream should be like 2 hours from now, but we'll see. Maybe everything won't go very smoothly, that sort of thing. I need to close this. Okay, so I'm on this one. Okay, I think I'm 1 pixel off. No, this is good. Yeah. All right, so this one is going to extend the timer. And so look at the timer as I'm doing this. Hold on. Yeah, so we're good. Timer is extended. So now it's, instead of 301 seconds left, I have equal sign and 1 second left, which is, this is actually about like 3 real life hours. Wah! So yeah, it should be pretty good to go in terms of time. I have a hard time imagining I'm gonna eat up all that time. Ah, no. Okay. Ha! Dodged you. Jukes. Should have joined the NFL. Instead I'm a chump sitting here playing video games. We gotta do a subscription. Let me get to that in a second. I got all the time in the world here, so... Welcome back, Stinky Brown Apple here. Alright, I gotta glitch 4 berries right now. With some other constraints. Need to not hit that P switch. Not yet, anyway. Actually, no, I will never want to hit this P switch. The P switch is pretty important. Okay. Then I'm going to intentionally get hit. This is not me being bad. I need to get Yoshi off screen. And then, let's see. Okay, and then I need to destroy this. Get Yoshi back. This is all very arcane, but trust me, it's all necessary. then I eat two of the most recent berries, and then we're good. This is all to get Yoshi in a specific sprite slot. Alright, so now... hold on. Okay, let me get to the right spot in my notes. So now I'm going to set up the shells so that I can do an arbitrary code execution over and over and write a bunch of bytes into memory for the bootloader. Okay, so this is 2 more pixels. It's right here. Let me verify. It's worth taking my time on this, and letting you guys verify too is also pretty good. So, all right, this is around. I think it's right. Yeah, there's 1 more pixel to the left. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me scroll down to my notes. Once again, the notes are linked in the stream title. Okay. So I think it's right here. Yes. Okay. This is like between the 3rd and the 4th. It is right. Should be right here. Yeah. After a while, I won't have to do these pixel perfect things by looking at the screen anymore. I'll have some. I'll have a little cheat that's part of what I'm working on right now, is getting that little cheat installed. It's gonna. The coin counter is going to actually display Mario's X coordinate. Okay. Should have these 2 memorized actually. Should be here. Oh, what? Oh, it's 8-1. Okay, good thing I didn't think I... Good thing I checked. I did not have this one memorized. Thought it was 8-2. Okay, yeah, we're good. And then the next one I do have memorized. And the sanity check that I did everything probably right is that there is 1 Koopa left here. So we're good. Okay. So... that is all for spitting shells. I don't have to spit any more shells for the rest of the time. Now I have to position Yoshi and the P switch. So Yoshi go. I'm gonna have to do this a bunch of times, and here we'll find out if I did things right, because the. Okay, that's kind of awkward. We're good. We'll find out if I did things right, because things will crash in a moment when I collect the mushroom if I didn't do things right. And I only have to do like 12 more pixel perfect things. Didn't crash, so things seem like they're probably good to go. Okay. By the way, something I didn't mention that I did before the stream is I set up my controllers. So on over here, this camera is so bad. You can see I have 2 multi-taps. Here's one, and here's the other. And then there's 2 controllers, these 2. Plugged in with a bunch of buttons held down. So I have those on camera so you can see that. And I will actually be modifying that configuration later when I clone the payload. What did I just do? Okay. I think I just put Yoshi where he was supposed to go for this one. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I definitely haven't done this one yet. And even if I did, it's okay to do it again. Anyway, I thought it was worth mentioning. I should have mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, probably. Okay, let me scroll down. I love that the timer is so long. Like, just like don't even need to pause while I'm doing this stuff. Okay. This one's really easy to position because I don't have to look at Mario's feet. I kind of look at the right side of the P-switch. All of this, these are the exact same things I did for the Flappy Bird code injection. Everything I've done so far, basically, but it is going to diverge immediately after I get the coin display working. Okay. So where do I need to go? 1 more pixel. Yeah. And once I get the coin display working, everything becomes a lot safer too, because I don't have to look at like Mario's feet to try and figure out the pixel perfect stuff anymore. I just look at the coin counter. That's good there. I'm not going to corrupt the palette data this time. That part works a little bit differently. So the screen is going to actually look like this for the rest of the code injection. Yeah, this is good. And then I think, yeah, there's one more byte to write this way, and so 2 more pixel perfect things. And then I will have the coin display up, and that'll be nice. So there's that, we're good. And then this goes here. All right, so look at the coin display right now. I have 76 coins. Or do I? No, I have 37 coins. Or is it 90, what, 99? Anyway. Actually, if I collect coins here, I'm getting one-ups because it's above 100. So the way this works, if you haven't seen this before, is it's displaying the low byte of Mario's x-coordinate. So here, Mario's x-coordinate is like 50 or something, but then as I go to the right, that increases. It goes past 99 to A0, and then A9, and then B0. So it, like every 10, the letter increases, all the way up to P5, which is 255, which is the highest value a byte can take on, and then it wraps back around to 0. So every 256 pixels, it wraps around. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this stuff with Yoshi and the P-switch, but if you look at my notes, there's no more pictures anymore. I'm just going to go off the coin count. So the first number is where Yoshi needs to be, and the second number is where the P-switch needs to be. So if you notice me making a mistake here in terms of where Yoshi is or where the P-switch is, definitely speak up. So D8 and 5 is this one. So Yoshi's at D8, and P-switch, I need to be facing right as I throw the P-switch up. But both of them actually need to be facing right, both Yoshi and the P-switch. When I dismount Yoshi, I need to be facing right. And this one can be either 37 or 36. There's 2 different values that work here. D9, M9. But it's a lot faster once I have the coin counter, because I don't even need to like look at the screen anymore. D5, N5. If there's any like good questions from the chat, feel free to, because this is the part where I just have to start like looking at the thing and just doing it. E506. So Yoshi actually kind of like snaps to Mario, so I can kind of get in position before I actually jump on Yoshi. So right now I'm just running the bootloader, E34.
SGDQ this year?
No, I don't plan on going to SGDQ. I will probably try and go to AGDQ though. D4, 13. E2, 61.
Are you playing on a CRT? And also, what is a multi-tap?
E2. Let me just do this one and then I'll answer the questions. E2, 61. Okay. So, no, I'm actually playing on my LCD because it's a little bit easier to see the pixels, even though there's like a little bit of latency. Like, there's nothing really execution-based in this, so it's okay for it to have a little bit of latency. So, it's a lot easier to see the individual pixels on the LCD. Because of my upscaler. And then a multi-tap is just a device that lets you can Google it, but it lets you plug in up to 5 controllers on a Super Nintendo. Actually up to 8, but that's not like how it's supposed to officially work, but you can actually do up to 8. Alright, E8, 96. D6 97. It was D6 97. Okay. This part's a little bit more awkward because it's like the P-switch is near Yoshi. And so I have to be careful not to hit the P-switch, otherwise I have to start this code injection over again. So it's D6 97 is the one I just hit, so E0 B5.
If I attempt this and screw this up, will my Super Mario cartridge get foobarred?
No. The worst that can happen is that you can screw up the save data that's already on there. But you can always delete the save files. Nothing that we know of that you can do can prevent you from deleting the save files. E7 B6. E7.
If you pick 36 or 37 to collect the mushroom, do you have to pick the same one every time?
No, it can be. Yeah, it doesn't matter which one you do. It's actually the background scroll position that matters, and that changes every 2 pixels. It's just like that's how they get the parallax, where the background scroll is slower than the foreground. So it's actually the background scroll that matters, and so yeah, there's 2 pixels that work to get the background scroll to the right value. Also, if I overshoot, then the background will scroll too far, and I need to reset the background position. What did I just do? I just did E7 B6. E7 B6. So E6 B9 is what's next. E6 and B9. Won't you B9? Wait, that's not. My brain is a little scattered, so guys, definitely be double checking me here. I think I did everything right so far, but I've made mistakes on this before. E1 D1. E4, E8. We're almost done with this part. E4, E8. D7, F5. Just 2 more bytes. So it's D7, F5. D7, F5. And then D3, F5 is the last one, so I can leave the P-switch where it is, because it was already at F5. D3, F5. So here it is. If I press select and something is wrong, it's going to crash, and I'm going to have to start all over. So if you guys noticed any mistakes, I don't think I made any mistakes, but I'm going to press select now. Ah, it worked. All right. Okay, so at this point, if you're in the notes, you'll notice there's just like hundreds of bytes that I need to do now. There's about 245, I think. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on now. Okay, that was a little nerve-wracking because I'm just like my head's in kind of a weird place. So the P-switch. So I'm gonna pick up the P-switch. Take a look at the counter that's just to the left of the mushroom in my item box. You'll notice it's going up and down and kind of moving around the P-switch. So this is a change I made to the way that the bootloader works. The P-switch is actually used to control the index that we write to the index of, like, basically as I spin jump, the index is going to count up. Here, I can show you actually right now. So if I spin jump, you'll notice the P-switch moves a pixel to the right. And so each time it does that is writing the coin counter, the byte in the coin counter, to some increasing index into memory. So it's just writing the decimal value 90 over and over to an offset of 53, 54, 55. Yeah, free bonus points. Every time I spin jump, free bonus points. I need to be careful. I need to put it in the right spot, and I need to not overshoot this. I need to go to 12. Okay, 11's fine too. So, so what I do here doesn't matter. But so now, if I make a mistake, previously with the Flappy Bird one, if I made a mistake, I just had to start the whole thing over, basically. But now if I make a mistake, I can just move the p-switch back to the left and rewrite the index. And so I can just, like, rewrite one byte if I need to. So definitely, if I make a mistake, call me out, and I can just rewrite that byte. It doesn't take very long to do that, so... yeah, overshooting it by 1 pixel is fine. If I overshot it by 11 pixels, then the game would have crashed.
Do you want me to read out questions in this part? Or
Yeah. Because I'm just going to be basically moving to a spot, spin jumping, moving to another spot, spin jumping, and doing that over and over and over for 245 times. So, yeah, questions will be good, and I can take little breaks from it. And the nice thing is, if I lose track of where I am in the notes, I can just look at the bonus star display, and it'll tell me exactly what byte I am. So it's like impossible for me to lose my place right now, pretty much. So also, I'll note that 04 is different from 4. 04 is the letter O, and then the number 4. There's never going to be like a 04, so they're differentiated that way. Anyway, index 12 is 04. And I spin jump to write that byte. 13 is B2. G3H1.
will you upload this on YouTube?
I'm not going to upload the whole stream onto YouTube. I am going to upload basically an explanation video like I did last year with the Flappy Bird. Yeah, this part's going to take probably like a half hour to do. Maybe more if I answer more questions. C2, E0, E1. But yeah, once it's done, it'll be really cool, so stick around. Or maybe come back in a half hour, I don't care. Anyway, 19 is 1. Sorry, yeah, 1. J4, 32. G9, I3.
What are you going to execute?
This is a bunch of code that will install a jailbreak into the internal save storage of the Super Mario World cartridge that's running the game right now. So it's gonna, you'll see what the jailbreak looks like, but it's really cool. It's got a hex editor and a mod loader, and it'll be pretty awesome. I'm on byte 24, 89E1. 89E1. H11. G9 and 1. Sorry, let me... What's going on with this? Oh. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, I'm on index 30. Yeah, sorry if this is a little bit boring. It's going to be like this for a little while, and I'll try and answer some questions in between. But
can you mess up the cartridge if you fail?
Yeah, you can't mess up the cartridge. You can always delete the save files, and you really can't. Yeah, no, nothing can be permanently damaged by doing this. So 30 is P5, D6. P5, D6. F3, H5. Three D6. I love it when you land right on it. Oh my god, that's amazing. F3, H5.
Does Jailbreak make use of redstone?
Redstone's from Minecraft. Har har har. Yeah, and it uses armor stands too, but they're invisible if we go to game mode 3. Okay, anyway. 38 is 3d6. Which sounds like a number of dice, but it's actually a couple bytes. K805.
Could you wrap the coin counter and write bytes further down on the map, or would that mess things up?
Yeah, I could do it anywhere. I could go over here. There's like a charge and chuck that I don't really want to load because he could kill me if I was really bad. So yeah, I could do it anywhere. It's just this is a nice open space, and there's like some bushes that are some nice like visual cues for the different parts of the alphabet. So that's why I do it here. and I'm not gonna like I could do it over here too, but I don't want to accidentally hit the P switch or Yoshi. Actually, it doesn't matter if I move Yoshi at this point, but 42 is G2-3.
Would it be possible to write a task to do this automatically just by inputting all your payload data?
Yeah, it'd be possible to write a task to do that. It'd be kind of annoying probably, but like to write a program that generates a task, I guess. Yeah, you could do it. J165. But there's probably more efficient ways to write a task to inject a bunch of data. J165.
Will you release the assembly code for the jailbreak?
I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of a, Cooper and I would have to talk about it. We haven't said that we're going to yet, but we're going to release the compiled code, and it's really easy to disassemble anyway. So I don't know. I guess there's no reason we shouldn't. But I don't know. I guess that's an issue for later. 46. Okay, hold on. I need to scroll down on this page. My notes. Okay. D0C7. F779.
Do you have a contingency plan for if he gets QPU misaligned?
I'll just go to a different parallel universe, I guess, and it'll work. I know what it means, but it's not a real question. I mean, it's a real question, just not for me. 50, 4K2. It's a Super Mario 64 task thing. Anyway, 1606. J10.
How much space do you have available for your code?
There's like probably around 500 bytes available, but I'm only using 245. 56. D0C7 F7. D0C7 F7, is that right? Yeah. 0P4. '61. It's K2C8. The nice thing is, once I've done all this, I can copy it onto the other cartridge without doing any of this ever again, because I'll have the jailbreak installed and I can just inject the code with the jailbreak. C8. Let's see. Wait. 63 is 063. $92.90. Do that over here. P4. So I can actually, it's going to look like I only do it once. I'm going to do this just to demonstrate. I'm actually going to tap A twice, and you'll notice the star counter goes up twice, even though I only spin jump once. So it's actually tapping A that does it and not spin jumping. So P4. So I'm on 69 now. 70. 15090. Oh yeah, I also want to mention that Mr. Cheese helped me write this code, but I guess we'll get to what the code does later, so. Okay, 74. 56J6. It's like no. Okay. Okay, 76. P1 at K8. Oops. So what exactly does what you're doing right now accomplish? I'm writing a bunch of bytes that will be run as code to both install the jailbreak and run the jailbreak once it's installed. 78. I'm really on 78. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. 390. Let me scroll down actually. 3904.
How do you write the code for this in the first place? Is it some type of language and then converted to bytes?
Yeah, it's assembly. It's 65816 assembly. 65816 if you want to Google it. Okay, K2 F9. C9D1. C7K2. Sometimes it's really hard to just move one pixel. 88. I'm on 96 G4. Yeah, it's also worth noting just like regular jumping is fine. It doesn't write any bytes or anything. It's just when I press the button A. That's the only way to write a byte. 09K8. Seven N0. No. That's what it looks like. 09 G9. Three E101. Oh no, it went to 0. No, I'm just kidding. That's what it does. Yeah, it just wraps around. So the next 100 will look actually different, but the first 100 and like 0 to 99 looks the same as 100 to 199, like in the star counter, but it's different. I got a donation. Yo, thanks Das LPFY for $5.59. First time ever donating. Keep it up. Really love your SMW videos. You are like a human taskbot, and I love it. Well, thank you. Let me move onward and do the taskbot-like thing. G900. Did I get the chat? Did they get got?
What?
When I said the... Yeah, they lulled. Anyway, that's what that emote means. 00. Okay, 2. F302.
Why doesn't the coin counter go from 0 to FF?
So the coin counter normally is supposed to go from 0 to 99, and then once you get 100 coins, it's supposed to wrap back around to 0. And there's code that's supposed to do that, but since I'm setting the value every frame, it like doesn't run because I'm not actually collecting any coins. So basically, the way it works is it tries to convert the binary number or the binary number into decimal. So that counts up, 0 to 9, and then it increments the ones digit, and 0 to 9 increments the ones digit. But it just there's no way, it doesn't have any code that says once the ones digit or the tens digit, hits 100, then do something else. It doesn't have any code that does that, so it just keeps counting that number up. And the next tiles in memory after 0 through 9 are A through Z. So that's why. F303.
Somebody asked earlier, do you have a way to rewind the P block address without moving it, or can you only auto-advance it?
I can only auto-advance it, but I can just pick it up and move it by, with Mario, because he can pick up P switches, so that's how I do that. K0, K8. And 10. 07, G5. 2141.
After installation of the jailbreak, will you be able to clear the bytes used for installing said jailbreak?
Yeah, right now the bytes used to install the jailbreak are just stored in RAM, and that'll get cleared if I, you know, power off the console or whatever.
There's a bunch of questions here. If you wanna...
None of these are serious questions. Oh, what happens if I collect a coin? Nothing really. If I collect a coin when the value is A or higher, then I get a 1-up, and I showed that earlier actually. Anyway, you can scroll back down. Thanks for the 100 bits, Player Cook. Okay, I'm at 114. 32. I actually need to scroll down in my notes. Okay, I'm at 115. Yeah, so it's 8000.
What would happen if you accidentally stepped on the P-switch?
If I stepped on the P-switch, actually I could keep going. At this point, I would still auto-advance the number, but I wouldn't be able to rewind anymore. So it actually would be kind of okay, I just wouldn't have the safety net of being able to redo rights. 13 G5.
How difficult would it be to write a checksum display into the bootstrap so you can see at a glance if you made a mistake?
It would have required another like 8 bytes or something, and it's not worth it. I have you guys making sure I don't make a mistake. Also, thanks for the bits, just a potato. 19 2400. $9.41. 16D3. Oops. I've gotten pretty good at getting these bytes pretty quickly. P0 G9. It's like a pretty useless skill in general, but right now it's my time to shine. I don't remember the next one. G99. D3 18.
How many more bits to do?
I'll answer that in a second. Okay, I need to count up into 256. Right now I'm at 130, so I have about 126 left. Yeah. 130. A7, G5. P1, G4.
If you can undo the last spin jump, what happens if you spin jump twice?
If I spin jump twice, it'll just write the same byte twice, because Mario's X coordinate will just get written twice. Okay, 134 is P0, K8. $52 G4. 52 is over here. Like a G4.
Are all of the text letters used in the game? If not, why do they have the extra files, especially on such limited space?
So there's not actually that limited of space. There's like 500 kilobytes in the Super Mario World ROM and 128 kilobytes of RAM, so there's plenty of space. But they use the letters for various things. It's mostly for text in the text boxes. So like there's the item boxes that you can hit. I'm not gonna hit one because I don't know if it would crash the game or something. I don't think it would, but I don't want to risk doing anything weird. D6 K8. $326. O6 M2.
Does this require a computer?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm using it for notes. I could have printed out the notes. To come up with the whole thing required a computer, but But to actually execute it, you could do it from just a sheet of paper. That's essentially what I'm doing. D6, K8. Oh, look at that. That was smooth. 358. L4. Yeah. L4 weenie. Okay. So I'm on byte 150 out of 255. M2 J2. Two K8. Four A5. 15 L4.
This one. Do you want to go over that?
What's the significance of the held buttons on the auxiliary controllers and the multi-tap slots used? They were used earlier. Actually, I'm not using them anymore. They were used during the arbitrary code execution to get the game to start running code from the shell or the sprite X coordinate table. They were just part of the arbitrary code execution, but I'm not using them anymore. Okay, so I'm on 58. M3 J2. Six K8.
What happens if you put in the wrong number?
If I put in the wrong number and nobody notices, then when I get to the last byte, it'll try and run the code, and it'll either crash or it'll install some code that's wrong, and that code will crash when I try and load up the jailbreak. Or it might not actually crash the jailbreak, and the jailbreak will just have some like bad behavior, and I might be able to fix it with the hex editor once I have the jailbreak installed. So if there's like a few bytes that it could be okay if I screw it up, but most of them will probably just make the whole thing bad. It'll crash before I'm able to do anything to fix it. 62 is 4A5. '64 N906. M3 E9.
Are you uploading a stream on Twitch so we can watch it later?
All streams are automatically archived on Twitch for like 6 weeks for our partners. Okay, 67. Let me just make sure. E9, yeah. Yo, thanks for $10, Belfner. Long-time YouTube fan of yours, but first stream. What you do is super cool. We'll keep it up. Thank you. I will do my best. 68 is E9. No. 68 is P1G8. P1G8.
Is it possible to inject your own sprites into the game in any way, or modify those that already exist?
Yeah. Yeah, if you ran the right code, it would definitely be possible. I3 P3.
Does moving while spin jumping affect the injection?
No, it's just the moment that I press A. So if I spin jump and then press left or right, it doesn't. It's just gonna write. It's already written the byte, so it doesn't matter. So I do that sometimes, but it's okay. It's not a mistake. 72 is G624. It's 24, right? 72, yeah. 74. M416. 76. 0015. 78. M432. K8-1. $82. 58 G6. Like a G6.
Can you write code like this to all Super Mario or Super Nintendo games?
I mean, not really. You'd have to find different bugs in those games. I mean, there are other games that have the capability to do something like this, but it'd be a very different execution. Okay, let me scroll down my notes. So we're at byte 184 out of 256. We're almost to the weird glitched out star counter section. So 84, 23. M4, 48. K85. A lot of K8s. I wonder what K8 is.
What will be possible with this hex editor?
Well, anything. Anything will be possible. We can bring Abe Lincoln back from the dead, but he will be a zombie. So I don't know. But it's possible. It's not possible. We'll be able to rewrite any part of RAM, any part of the internal save storage of the cartridge. We can read the entire ROM. It's pretty powerful. But you'll see. You'll see. 89 is K864. $91. 26, 26, 26. So I'm going to do that thing again where I just tap it 3 times and it'll only be 1 spin jump. 91. Let me just double check. 91. 26, 26, 26. Did I get all 3? Yeah, we're on 94. F1, P3.
Does a soft reset clear the RAM?
A soft reset doesn't clear the RAM. And I actually am going to be using that later to clone the jailbreak onto the new cartridge. But the Super Mario World does clear out a lot of the RAM, but it leaves some of the RAM untouched, and we're going to use that. We're going to specifically use RAM that is untouched. 96. Actually, the RAM that I'm writing to right now is untouched by the software reset. If I turned off the power switch and left it off for a while and turned it back on, though, that would clear it out. 96. J8, sorry, 96 is J448. J448. $98. A036. A0. I'm actually going to go over here. So there's the P switch. It's slowly advancing. Slowly advancing to the right. So this is 199. This is 36. So we're onto the glitchy star counter, bonus star counter. But you can see the P switch. Once the P switch hits this spot right here, where Mario is standing, then we'll be done. So 56 more pixels to the right. Okay, G9, like a G9. G980.
What does the untouched RAM do normally in regular play of Super Mario World?
Nothing. The game just doesn't use it. 202 is 0, E3. $204, C5, D1.
Does each jump write 2 bits or just 1? Bytes?
I
Bytes.
think he probably means bytes, or maybe he said bytes. Sorry, 205 is D1. It's 1 byte per jump. The Super Nintendo is a 16-bit system, but it's not always in 16-bit mode. It has an 8-bit mode, and that's what we're using. So it's just 1 byte. So C7 is next, and then G947. Like a G. 47. All right. 210. Actually, let me scroll down. 210 is E3 C7.
Oh boy, almost there.
We're pretty close. 212 is D1 C7. 214 is N5H0. Ho. Go, G011. Go. Go, 1-1. Okay, we're at 219 is I3. Alright, this looks like it's like 70, but it's actually 220 is where we're at. Actually, it kind of looks like a 2. Anyway, 220. It's P3, J6. $222 is 0848. $224 is 7G5. Okay. P4, J6. Like a J6. I'm gonna stop that now. 228. You gonna lean in?
Well, my chair kind of leaned in.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Alright, 228 is 08K8. No, wait. Yes, 08K8. Alright, we're on to 230. 1 and 5. $72, $32. Ooh, there's that P switch. 72. I'm like nervous getting this close to it. 32. All right. 234 is 76. Do I dare going all the way over here? I'm really close to it. What if I step on it? Okay, I'm not gonna get that close to it anymore. It's making me too nervous. 236 is A4. It's A4. And then 74 3 times. 74. Okay, so now we're on to 240. Oh, it's another 74. 241. Oh, we're so close. 241 out of 256. 15 bytes left. 32. I'm just going to go all the way over here for 32. I just don't want to be near that P switch. 32. 242. 76. Can I do that here? Yeah. $244. D6 16. $246 is M8 M6. $246 is mate. M6. 48 F2. Oh, it's so close. I'm getting nervous. All right, we're on 250 out of 255. E3 D7. Oh, there's that P switch. It'd be really inconvenient to screw up now, so I'm going to take it slow. D5. 252 is D5. Oh, okay. C7. Let me just like quadruple check. 253 is C7. Did I make any mistakes, chat?
Mistake? Somebody said you made a mistake. But they could just be saying
nah,
mate because mate is like kind of
Oh.
cool.
I said mate too, so. Alright.
Hello, mate.
254 is A7, A7. I'm just going to spin jump twice. Okay, A7, A7. 254. Oh, got it. It's supposed to freeze! We did it!
Don't do
Yep, I'm going to reset now.
God.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. No, so remember that I deleted save file C. Alright, guys. You stuck around for it. Here's the payoff. Remember I deleted save file C. There's a mystery save file C now. Alright, let's go ahead and load up save file C and see what happens. It's going to look a little glitchy if everything works correctly, but it looks like everything did work correctly. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a hex editor permanently installed onto my Super Mario World cartridge. Alright, let's take a look. Let me show you what we got. So this is a hex editor. For those of you who don't know, hex is a way of representing binary data. Every 4 bits is either another number or a letter, 0 through 9 or A through F. I have a cursor here I can move around. As I do that, the inputs also get passed on to the game. The game's also running really slow. Okay, so we've got a cursor. Right now what we're looking at is the first 256 bytes of memory. There's some counters here. And now I can actually modify data. So if I go over here, if I press R, it'll actually change the data, right? If I press R, it'll increment. If I press L, it'll decrement every time I press it. So this is memory. This is live memory. In fact, we can see there's some clocks up here. What these do is they control some animations that are going on screen. So okay, before I get to that, let me show you. So remember, R increments, L decrements. If I press and hold both L and R at the same time, it increments really quickly. Okay, and so I'm going to bring it back around to 0. Now, if I do the same for the clocks, I can actually speed them up by incrementing even faster than they're currently incrementing. So let's see what happens. Notice Mario starts running twice as fast, or probably even faster than twice as fast. It's like 4 times as fast when I do that. And then I can do the same thing for these clouds over here, I think. No, what's this controlling? I don't even know what this clock is controlling. I thought it was the clouds. Anyway, okay. So that's to prove that that it is modifying live RAM. Oh, the other thing you can notice is over here. This is actually changing. This is the index. So this is actually some of the memory that's used to run the hex editor. So this is the spot where the cursor is. So if I move it up, you'll notice that the left number changes. If I move it left and right, then the right number changes. So this spot right here, FB currently. Okay. But we can look at any part of memory we would want. So this is the first 256 bytes of memory. If I hold select and press right, now we're looking at the second 256 bytes of memory. Here's the third 256 bytes of memory. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Let's see if we can find... This one seems to have a lot of interesting stuff in it. Who knows? This one looks like it's a bunch of stuff that's changing every time the animation changes or something. So this might be like animation data. More animation data. Here's some more clocks. Who knows what they're doing? I don't know what any of this stuff does. Okay, so this is RAM. What we're looking at is RAM right now. But we can also look at ROM. So inside of the game cartridge is a read-only memory chip that has 500 kilobytes of data, which is the game. It's the game code. Why does the game run so slow? It's because it's drawing all 256 bytes every frame, and that's just like a pretty slow thing to do. Like that's a lot of data to upload to the video card every frame, so that like lags the game out. Yeah, so we're looking at RAM, but if I press select left, it'll wrap around. By the way, look at the bottom left corner of the screen. That says what part of memory we're looking at. So if we go below 0, it'll wrap around to FF, and now we're looking at the 128th page of the first ROM bank. Anyway, here's the 127th page, 126. So this is all, you could read all of the data in the ROM by doing this. And if you like copied it into a hex editor on your computer, you could actually create a functioning ROM out of this. So this is a little bit of copyright infringement, the fact that I'm, broadcasting this, but just don't tell Nintendo. In fact, that goes for this whole thing. Don't tell Nintendo about any of this. I don't think they'd want to know. FF is 255, but only the top half of the bank is actual ROM data. Anyway, I probably know more than you about this subject, so maybe take my word for it. So we've looked at RAM, we've looked at ROM, but there's one more thing you can look at. Actually, there's a couple more, but the other important thing you can look at is the internal storage on the cartridge. So there's 2 kilobytes of powered RAM. There's a battery inside the cartridge that powers the RAM, and it stores your save files. The game normally only uses like a kilobyte of that. And if we go here, we can look at all that data. So here's the first 256 bytes that's stored on the game cartridge. This happens to correspond to file A, which is the file that we're currently playing. So I could change around the save data in file A. But of course, the hex editor is also stored on the cartridge in the save data. You want to look at Open Bus? Yeah. Oh yeah, I wrote this hex editor, but Mr. Cheese helped out a lot. So he's in the chat. Thanks a lot to Mr. Cheese for all his help with this. But yeah, so this part here. Whoops. This part here is kind of like how the game, how we gain control of part of the game. This part here like decompresses. It's like some compressed graphics data that overruns the decompressed graphics buffer. Anyway, that probably doesn't mean anything to most of you, but this is how we actually gain control of the game. But most importantly, here we have all of the save data. Sorry, all of the code that both runs the hex editor and all of the code that installed the jailbreak onto the cartridge. So if this byte here, this 03, no wait, this 29 actually. Anyway, this is all the code that runs the hex editor starting here to the end of the page. And this is the last byte that runs the hex editor, and then basically like this is the last byte of the installer. So all the stuff before this is the installer that makes sure that the cartridge will have all the data that it needs to run the jailbreak. Okay, so this is the code. It was a lot of work to get it to fit all into 256 bytes, which wasn't strictly necessary, but it made some things a lot easier. The fact that it was that small, and it's actually a lot of fun to try and optimize that code. I'd never really gotten that deep into the world of like Super Nintendo assembly code writing. So the hex editor is already pretty optimized. There's probably some room to save a couple bytes, but it's pretty optimized in terms of space usage. So that's what's going on in page FFFE. Page FFFF is really fun to say, but it's also a special page. Currently, it just has the value 6B. 6B, well, yeah, this page stores the mods. So there's a mod loader built in. If I press select and R, it's you'll notice that the game started running faster again. Like the animations are fast. If I go into a level, it's like, you know, Mario runs and jumps and everything. If I press select and L, it'll load the hex editor, and you can see the game is a lot slower. Actually, there's some stuff I want to show you. Let's go into a level, and I want to show you. So here's another demonstration of the hex editor. So here's the code, or here's again the first 256 bytes of RAM. Oops. You can see a lot of data is changing near the bottom. This is the sprite X and Y coordinate table over here, or this is the X coordinate table, all the values that are changing. So as the Koopas walk back and forth, we can watch them change. I think if I do, wait, what? I don't know what just happened. No, I guess it's not working. Anyway, I can like, yeah, I can like move Koopas manually by just like incrementing their X coordinates. Ah, okay. Didn't expect him to like wrap around. That's. But also I can do things like I can change Mario's power-up state. So if I change this, move it up, he's now big. If I move it up again, he's now got a cape. Here's the fire flower. If you were here at the beginning of the stream, I did power-up incrementation. It's a lot easier now because I can just press R to do power-up incrementation. Don't have to do that whole glitch with duplicating Yoshi blocks and whatever. We can go up to Disco Mario, which is oh, this one's just like flashing. He's like slow dance Disco Mario. But I can increment it really fast. Oh, whoops. Hold on, let me go back. I can increment it really fast. Wait, where's the byte? Oh, here. With L and R, and I can go up to some really high values. What was it? I think it was this one. Yeah, it's this one. This one's really good. Basically, it's just like it's like looking up what sprites to use to animate Mario into like in the table, and it's just like going to the completely wrong place. And so this one's pretty good. I think F. This is no wait. There's one where he's oh yeah. So here's flashing butt Mario. I have power names for some of these. Here's flashing prayer Mario. There's one of these that's really good. Maybe it's FF. No, it's earlier, I guess. Hold on. I want to get to this one because... Yeah, there we go. It's mooning Mario. He's mooning you. Get mooned, chat. Oh yeah, he also does this when you move. He like he becomes one with the... It's also a back... I never noticed this is backwards when you go to the right. Question mark. This one's really great. This is power up state EA. Yeah, EA and EB. No, East. Which one was it? I don't know. EA is really good anyway. It's like mooning. He's like style mooning you in midair. That's what he's doing. Anyway. Yeah, I can disable the hex editor now, and things will start running a lot faster, right? Oh yeah, he also disappears, I guess, when you're running really fast. That's awesome. Anyway, that's one of the cool things of the hex editor. But okay, so I have over here the cartridge that's plugged in. This now has the jailbreak installed, but we can write some code. Actually, here's what I'll do. Let me just die. Get out of the level, just because it's gonna be more convenient to not be in the level. Just trying to die. Okay, let me put the hex editor back on, and so let's go back to this page. So this page is where you can install mods. And this isn't actually what I plan to do, but I think this is a good course of action. Let me open up a specific mod, and I'll actually no, I have it over here, and I'll enter the mod. Where is it? Manual. Okay, double jump. Okay, so let me just enter some data real quick here. A5. $72 D004. It's a bit easier to enter data and make sure that I do it correctly too this way. D004 64F0. It's also in hexadecimal, which is nice because sometimes you can recognize certain numbers a little bit easier in hexadecimal. 8010. This is not a long one. This is like 25 bytes, so shouldn't take me that long to get it all input. A516. $29.80. So I'm like halfway done already. Probably more than halfway. F0 OA. Yeah, A5 F0. It's like 8 more bytes left. So just hold on to your pants. D006. E6 F0. No, sorry. Yeah, E6 F0. Let's go this way. There's no way to decrement fast, so just gonna have to do that manually. E6 F0. A9 B3. That was cool. 85 7D 6B. And then that's done. 7D 6B. Okay. So now I press select and R. So what's going to happen is when you press select and R, it doesn't just disable the hex editor. It also runs this code every frame. So this is a bunch of compiled code. Now I pressed select and R and it didn't crash, good. And so now it's going to run this code every frame. This code is a double jump mod. So here we go. I can double jump. It's very easy, very intuitive. I can jump on this thing, jump everywhere. You only get one double jump, so if you can't like spam jump to fly or anything. Yeah, so it's like pretty small payload. I think you can spin jump and then jump again, but you have to press B. It doesn't work with A. So this is a cool little demonstration. Of the mod loader. Whee! So it makes the game a little bit easier, but it actually feels really natural. Works pretty well. Anyway, I guess I'll beat the level. So you can also like run off and jump again. So if you like run off a ledge. Whee! Wah! Pew! Would this be practical for any percent? I mean, it's pretty clearly against the rules for any percent. Actually, I don't think it's against the rules, but it should be. Maybe we'll have to add that to the rules for zero exit, I think you're talking about. But yeah, so that's double jump. Okay. I'm gonna move on though. I'm gonna move on now that I've showed the mod loader. I'm actually gonna write in a different mod at this point. So, and that's in my notes. So let me get the notes back up. Oh yeah, actually there's a really cool one that I want to show you. Here, let me get in the level. I'll bring the hex editor back up. Oh, give me that. Alright. So we're going to go back into RAM. Alright, I'm just going to let it go, I guess. We're going to go back into RAM. Alright, I can save it. I can save it. No, that's not going to help. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, so I want to go to page 14. Okay, this is something that I used in my my 11 exit code injection route. If I just increment, I think it's this value. No, it wasn't this value. This one? Yeah, there we go. Just beat the level. Yeah. This works on any level. Actually, I can increment it before I even enter the level. It also works to get the secret exit. Which I don't want to use on... Actually, I don't know. I might as well. 34. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to get the secret exit for this level. I don't really know... Oh, yeah. This level is funky because it's got water that screws with the hex editor. Anyway, so I got this secret exit. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I can go here. And the castle's done? Wait, what? Oh, no, the castle's not actually done, though. Oh, because it used the... Okay, I see what happened. Like, graphically, it adjusted the tiles... Okay, I think I see what happened. Anyway, I can never go to the mainland now. Shoot! Well, that doesn't matter because I haven't saved my game. That's pretty funny, though. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not scripted. Anyway, let's go back to the hex editor. I just wanted to show you that one last thing. Wait. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to write it in a different mod, and this mod is not going to do anything in-game. It's actually going to copy the jailbreak into unused RAM, because I'm going to copy the jailbreak onto a new cartridge. And actually, at this point, before I even do any of that, I'm going to unplug. No, I don't know. I can do that after I do this. So I'll explain what I'm doing after I write this code into memory. So let's see, A200. BF00. But yeah, I'm gonna have a second cartridge hopefully, so I have a backup in case something goes wrong. FEFF. (9F00) 827F. CA. D0F5. A97F. Nice, landed right on it. (85FF). A982. (85FE). Okay, and then should be 6B, right? Yeah, 6B. All right, so there's a little bit of garbage left over from the previous payload here, but it doesn't matter because the previous mod, I mean, the mod ends here, and it doesn't matter what's after it if there's garbage after it. So I'm going to run this code. So by pressing Select and R, it'll disable the hex editor, run the code, and then I'm going to just load the hex editor again. And now we're actually looking at a different page of memory. That was part of what the mod did, is it made sure we would look at this page of memory. Okay, so this page of memory now contains the jailbreak. This is all the code that was in the jailbreak. The last byte is 6B, so that's our kind of sanity check that it worked. So over here, 6B, that's the end of the jailbreak. If I go to the next page, I'm actually... Why is it 6B already? Oh, right, because it was actually already in memory. Yeah, I didn't have to do any of that. It was already in memory. Anyway, it's handy to have that mod in there in case I screw up. Okay, so in memory is now the jailbreak. What I'm going to do, I'll explain it before I do it, is I'm going to, without powering off the console, I'm going to pull out the cartridge that's currently in there. I'm going to eject it, and then I'm going to put in a fresh cartridge that doesn't have the jailbreak installed. And then hit the reset switch. So I'm going to do all that without powering off. So all this stuff that's in memory is going to stay in memory, and this is a part of memory that Super Mario World doesn't use. So it doesn't clear it out. So everything that's in here will stay in memory. At that point, I'm going to need to do an arbitrary code execution to just call this code. So I don't have to do all that stuff I did before, where I entered every byte manually. It's all in there already. I just have to call it. So what I'm going to do will look a lot like the credits warp. And I'm going to, in fact, do it without any multi-taps as well. So I'm going to use... I'm just going to use the 2 controller setup for the credits warp. And so I need to reconfigure things now, and I'll go over and do that. So let's see, I'll unplug both multi-taps. Crap. That could be bad. I unseated the cartridge when I did that. No, it looks like it's fine. Let me just make sure that... Hold on. Let me just make sure the jailbreak's still installed. Yeah, we're good. Okay, everything should be good. In fact, I can go ahead and just run the code again, just to make sure everything's good. Yeah, we're good. Ah! Whoops. Okay, everything's good. Didn't mess anything up. All right, so now plugged into the first port is controller 1, the main controller that I'm using. I need to reconfigure this one by moving this clamp over just a little bit. Just make sure it's pressing both down and right instead of just down. Looks good to me. Yeah. So, and then I'm going to unplug it from the multi-tap and plug it straight into the console. Maybe I should actually have moved the cartridge before I did this. Anyway, actually I'm going to take the multi-taps out of the picture entirely. I don't need them anymore. Along with this other controller. Don't need it. Doesn't matter. Okay. So here's the second cartridge I'm going to adjust. I'm going to install it on. Okay. All right, so now all this stuff is in memory. I'm going to eject the cartridge. Here's the first cartridge. I'm going to now put in the second cartridge. Oh, is the screen black? Oh, it's no signal screen's off. Anyway, it's fine. Just give it a good smack to make sure the cartridge is seated correctly. Otherwise, it could clear out RAM by accident. Okay, let me get the signal in there. I forgot to do that. Yeah, I've been having problems getting my my capture card. Oh, it picked it up automatically. Okay. Huh, okay, that's cool. Okay, so here we have the fresh cartridge in. Whoops. The files are empty, but I still need to make sure I erase file C. I'm just going to erase all 3 files, though. All right. Then I'm going to start a new game on file A. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to do a little thing that looks like the credits warp. It's an arbitrary code execution exploit to run the code that is in that unused RAM. And it's still there because I never powered off the console. So this might take a few tries. It's there's like some difficult execution at the end. So maybe settle in a little bit. Oops. Okay. But I'm using the like easy setup. So everything except the end should be pretty easy. Okay. Wah! Didn't realize there were 2 of them down there. Alright. So, where am I going? Right, okay. Yep. I do have these positions memorized, so it should be pretty fast. Hopefully this just works first try. That'd be nice. Yeah, okay. So I just have to write 4 bytes rather than I usually have to write 5 if I was doing the credits warp. Okay. Alright, now I'll try and do it. Crap. Okay, so it didn't work. I think I heard the charge and chuck sound, so I actually have powered off the console. And basically I'm going to put in the original jailbroken cartridge, make sure it's seated well, powered on. And let's make sure that we get signal out of this too. Okay, yeah, good signal. Okay, so luckily it's very easy to just put that code back into RAM. All I have to do is load up the jailbreak and press select an R, and it runs that mod that I already have installed on the cartridge. So it's select an R, select an L. Let's change this to 6B just because it's nicer that way. And we're done. Okay, so that's all it takes to put the jailbreak back into RAM. So it's very, very easy. Got a $5 donation from Mario Master 409. Thank you very much. Jailbreaking SMW. This should be interesting. It has been interesting. It will be interesting. It is interesting. You're right. Thank you. Thank you for the cash monies. Hold on, let me get the signal back up. Oh no. Okay, we're good. Yeah. I always get scared that it's not going to come back on. Sometimes it doesn't. Alright, so let's make sure we erase the data in file C again, but I don't need to start a new game in file A. So I just have to do that again. Yeah, basically I screwed up the credit swap a little bit. It's one of those things that's like very hard to avoid. But I hit the charge in chuck and that caused the credit swap, or causes the arbitrary code execution not to work. Alright, need to duplicate that block, so I'm just going to suicide here. No, Mario, don't do it. You have so much to live for. I don't have an explanation video yet, but tomorrow morning I will have an explanation video on my channel, on my YouTube channel. And it'll include some footage from this live stream. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for this guy to come past. Takes a little too far. Yeah, I'm not gonna explain what's going on here. I've made videos explaining it before, so if you want to check it out. Yeah, just look at the videos. There's a good highlight on my Twitch, in my Twitch highlights, that explains at a very technical level what exactly is going on with all of this. So go look at the highlights if you want to see that. Okay. That's all 4 shells, or 5. I guess it's 5 shells. It's four shells of code. One of them is not really code. Here we go, let's try again. Ah, it froze again! No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's done. Reset. Should be file C. I don't know 100% that it worked, but yeah, we got file C. So, Jailbreak is now on a second cartridge. That's cool. I was really nervous about like screwing up the first this jailbreak on the first cartridge, but yeah, we've got a hex editor, we've got mod loader, we've got everything. So now I have 2 cartridges with a jailbreak on them. Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of like a virus, a little bit, I guess. It's more like, it's not really like a virus though, because it doesn't like force its way onto the, but it's copyable is the point. Am I going to auction off a cartridge? Actually, I'm thinking about selling cartridges. So like buying cartridges off eBay and then installing the jailbreak on them and then selling them. I actually have set up an email account where you can email it and get information about it. So yeah, if you want to send an email to smwjailbreak@gmail.com, it'll give you some information about what I'm currently thinking. If you maybe are interested in actually buying one. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it's all going to work in the long run, but I might try it out. Is that legal? Yeah, I mean, all I'm doing is putting save data on the cartridge. There's no copyright violation. It's completely legal to resell cartridges. Yeah, there's no legality issues. Cooper and I own the jailbreak own the copyright on the jailbreak, and he's agreed to it too. So, nope, no. Yeah, it's only US cartridges. The glitch only, well, we only know how to make the glitch work on US cartridges. It's possible it's possible that there's a way to do it on other cartridges. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to show you guys another mod. This one's going to be a little bit... Nintendo can't defendo. That's exactly right. I'm going to show you another mod. Actually, I didn't... Oh, did I update the notes? I don't remember. Yes, I did update the notes. Okay. So it's the last thing in the notes. Is this mod I'm going to show you. This is a mod by P4+2, and it will add telekinesis powers to the game. But it's going to take a little while longer. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, a flashcard is obviously more powerful than this, but there's still something really cool about having an actual copy of the game that's jailbroken. Anyway, so I'm going to start writing data here. So this is going to be another one of those, like, I'm focusing on just copying data from my Google Doc to the thing. So if there's any, like, good questions about it. Well, this is just darn neat. Sorry?
You're not going to lose your spot?
No, because I have a cursor. Like, I can see, like, which byte I'm on and stuff. That's the cool thing about this. You can see you can see all the data at once. There's just like no way to mess up. Like you can always just visually inspect and make sure everything's right. It's like a real, it's a real editor. Anyway, okay, let's start doing this. Oh, okay, let's go around this way. Well, this is just pretty darn neat. Thank you, Aaron. A5.
How much data and how long?
It is, I think, 151 bytes, which will be down to about, like, I think this is where the last byte goes. So it'll take a few minutes to write all that data in. A5, 18, 29. But yeah, this is the last thing I wanted to demonstrate, and it's, yeah, again, a telekinesis mod by P4+2. P4+2, by the way, is the guy who wrote the Flappy Bird code last year. So he is good at this sort of thing. He's very good. He also worked a lot on like TaskBot stuff for like the Skype on the Super Nintendo last year. Incoming off by 1 error. I hope not. You guys can just like double check that I'm entering everything correctly. It's all in the notes, so 88. So yeah, the whole copying procedure just uses 2 controllers, no multi-taps. So that one's pretty accessible. Unfortunately, the initial injection procedure required 2 multi-taps, which not a lot of people have. There's really no earthly reason to own 2 multi-taps. The guy at the store was really confused when I told him I was buying a multi-tap and already had one, because there's no like official game that supports 2 multi-taps. Nintendo like made it a condition that you weren't allowed to make a game that used 2 multi-taps.
What happens if you write a mod that crashes the game? Is a jailbreak useless after that?
Okay, if you crash the game, it can delete the jailbreak. I've had it happen. I've seen it happen with that sort of thing, because just like you can kind of just start running random code, and sometimes that'll overwrite. Like I've lost save files during credits warp before and stuff like that. So yes, you can definitely lose the jailbreak if you crash the game. And one of the easy ways to crash the game is to write a mod that isn't valid code or crashes somehow. So be very careful if you're doing this for yourself. B9.
Does the order in which you inject the bytes matter for this mod?
Does the order? No, I can do any order I want. Here's 1F. This one I can just like go. Yeah, I can go vertical if I want. 1F. 48. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. This is just a hex editor. Like. Works like any other hex editor, basically, except it's on a Super Nintendo. Yo, Null. Thanks for resubbing for 15 months. 95. Actually, this is actually a good idea to make sure I'm on the correct row. Just write the first byte of each row each time. So, 15, 4A. So, and I can also show you where the last byte is. So this is the last byte right here. So once I've written every byte up to this one, it'll be done.
Can the mods be run on emulator, or does it need to be done with a real Super Nintendo?
It can, yeah, this will all work on emulator. In fact, when I do the video tomorrow, I'm going to release a SRAM file that will work on BizHawk and probably most other emulators, so you can try it out for yourself on emulator. But it's obviously way cooler if it's on console. But yeah, everything works exactly the same. It should all work fine. Actually, we had some problems, I guess, getting it to work on emulator. There were some weird emulation issues, but the version that we ended up with at least works on BizHawk, and I think also probably most other emulators.
Is the entirety of the Super Mario World program memory mapped out by the community?
Is the entirety of the assembly program memory mapped out? Yeah, there's some disassemblies out there that basically are commented. So it's very well understood. Also the entire like layout of RAM is pretty well understood. Yeah, it's Super Mario World is probably the best understood like game in terms of like understanding the source code and what it does, because there's so many modders, the people who write ROM hacks. It's like a very, very popular game. What was it? C8. 14. F0. 98.
Are the mods checksummed? Is 6B the R8T instruction?
They are not checksummed. So you just have to make sure yourself that is correct. 6B is the RTL instruction, which is basically, yeah, it's return using a long pointer from the stack, a 3-byte pointer. There's also RTS, which uses a 2-byte pointer. Anyway, yeah. Seth actually has the entire code tattooed on his back. How'd you know? $69. Oopsie. Don't call it that. 8. This is like a little bit faster than doing the spin jump thing, but it's also a lot easier to verify that everything's correct. And like go back and like if you've screwed something up to go back and whatever. 4003. A206.
What's this?
What? Do I have an opinion on P equals NP? P does not equal NP is my opinion. Otherwise, we're all kind of screwed. That one I get to leave alone. 68 1A. I'm like a third of the way done with this. But it's really cool. I recommend you stay around. 69. Wait, no. Shoot. A208. A4. Okay. It's like, why is there a 69 just below another 69? Yeah. I hope somebody's double checking that I'm entering the right data. It's at the end of the notes, which are linked in the stream title. F020. (62FF). Again, I get to skip FF because that's already in there. 6868.
Can you fix it in case of a crash because of the mod?
I don't know what that question means. If there's a crash because of the mod, can I fix... I mean, if it deletes the hex editor, then I'll just have to, like, either inject it again or do the cloning procedure again. Usually a crash is not going to like destroy just enough of the hex editor that I can still fix it. Usually it's just going to wipe out the whole thing. Like, there are some limited circumstances in which it could just like screw up one byte. But even one byte will most of the time destroy the hex editor. Let's see, where am I? 68. 9E 70. 7T. E70 04 CA. It's interesting because I now recognize like a lot of these opcodes. CA I think is like decrement Y or something. It's like really just not very useful information, but here I am kind of using it. Not really. FA. I'm just gonna go down into the rest of this column too. 09 64. 4A 2D. And 68. Oops, was that it?
Where is the mod saved, and will it get erased on a reboot?
The mod is saved on the internal storage of the cartridge. It's like right next to the. In fact, if I press select L or select left, you can see this is the code that runs the hex editor. So it's right next to it. So it's stored along with the jailbreak on the cartridge. So no, it's gonna persist. In fact, you can bring the cartridge to another console, just like unplug it from one console, insert it into another, and it'll still be on there. And that's why I call it a jailbreak, is because it's like stored on the cartridge itself, and it's like permanent basically. 17.
And Cooprox is double checking, says everything is correct.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Coop. Cooper. 17. 24, 17, 50. 1D. A6. So yeah, once I write all this, I can just like play through the whole game over multiple sessions and everything. I could just like use a normal save file to play through the game. I can delete other save files other than save file C. In fact, if I want to play the game without loading up the hex editor or the jailbreak at all I have to do is just not load save file C when I boot up the game, and the game will just run as normal, as if there was no jailbreak installed at all. So this is F0. A515. $29.03. A8B9. We're like more than halfway done.
Was the hex editor already in the programming, or was the bit you were doing before programming the hex editor?
Yeah, it was not already. It's not already in the code. I wrote the hex editor, in assembly, compiled the code, and then injected it with all the stuff I was doing earlier. So all this code is fresh. A8B9, CA8A. I mean, it uses some of the code from Super Mario World, like to draw stuff to the screen, but yeah, the code that actually like does all the logic was written by me with some help from Mr. Cheese and Cooper. 0995 B6. A515.
Have you calculated the amount of spare memory on the cartridge?
Okay, so yeah, once the hex editor is installed, you have about 700 bytes that you can use. You can use a little bit more if you're willing to use like the actual save file data, but that gets pretty complicated. So it's not a ton of space for extra stuff. but I tried to leave as much as possible. For a B880. EF95.
Have you told them which mod this is yet?
Yeah. This is the telekinesis mod by P4+2. AA22. A80. Eight zero is the branch instruction. Unconditional branch. Wait, why would you branch forward 1 byte unconditionally? I don't even know. What are you doing, P4? This code doesn't make any sense. Okay. Oh, maybe it's for misalignment or something? Anyway, it doesn't matter. 6B. Zero 08. B9D4. Thank you for reading out the questions. It's very helpful.
You're welcome.
$14 EB. B9D8. Zero C220.
Is it the same for an emulator, or can you expand the memory in the emulator?
You can't really expand the memory in the emulator. I mean, that's the whole point of the emulator. It's supposed to be accurate, right? C220 F5 CB.
Could you have this mod and a double jump mod run at the same time?
No, only one mod can run at a time. You could kind of integrate them together though, and they would probably work, but you'd have to make sure that they didn't like try and use the same scratch memory or that sort of thing. All right, I'm on 4A, 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 28, 48. B5, 7, 8. Alright, this is like, I have like 20 more bytes left. So we're very close to done here. 6908.
Is there any way to inject code into the jailbreaker? For example, an update patch or something?
So yeah, so again, the jailbreak code is right here. You could hex edit it directly. In fact, I need to be very careful I don't press L or R while I'm on this page, because it's a really bad idea to do that. If you hex edit this and you adjust a byte that is like a code, like opcode, you could make it crash very, very easily. So you could do it though by running a payload that like loads some data and writes data to the hex editor. As long as you do it all at once, it should be fine. But you'd have to write code to do it and run it as a mod rather than hex editing it directly. But right now the mod code isn't running, so that's okay for me to edit this. So yeah, you could patch it, definitely. $48A9. Or yeah, one more row. What is A9 here? Okay, this is the last row here. 99, 42. 03, A9. F499. Should have gone the other way.
boss says you should probably make a small modification to the hex editor so that you can't edit it before somebody buys a copy, then immediately destroys it.
There's a lot of ways to destroy the hex editor or to destroy the jailbreak. I have a manual that I'm gonna include with it that like warns you of some things that you shouldn't do. One of them is edit a memory address before you know what it does. It's like the very first thing in the manual. 68. A bunch of 88s. But there's really no way to prevent people from doing things that could like very easily destroy the jailbreak. So just a warning to be careful is really all I can do. All right, this is the last bite. We're done. EA. So hopefully somebody was checking me. I think Cooper said he was. Hopefully some other people were too. But this should be all the code for the jailbreak. I'm not going to run it just yet in case somebody did notice a mistake. Here, I'll... Oh, okay. Well, anyway. No mistakes. All right. I'm going to press select an R and hopefully the game doesn't crash. Okay. Okay, the game didn't crash yet. So now P4+2's telekinesis mod is installed and running. Let's take a look. So, by default, if I just run around, nothing looks that different. But if I press L or R, okay, that obviously looks a little bit different. Now I have control over this thing. Let's put it over here. Boop, 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 boop. I can press R to cycle through enemies, so I can pick up different guys. This actually adjusts their velocity, which is pretty cool. So I can move them off screen, and I can unload them that way. Let's bring this with me. 2,000 points. Actually, I could probably get infinite 1-ups really easily. Yeah! So I'm using X to control, X to basically disable my own movement and start controlling the other things with telekinesis. Let's see, does it? Yeah, it's still 1-ups. Since it's overriding the shell's velocity, the shell isn't gonna like hurt me. But I can actually use the shell to like hit blocks and stuff too. That works. Let's come over here. Let's grab Yoshi. Whoa! I just duped the Yoshi block to the side. Okay, now I have like a bunch of Yoshis, I guess. Some of them are invisible. If you've never seen invisible Yoshis, they behave kind of funky. Yeah. Okay, anyway, let's get the real Yoshi. So I can control this visible Yoshi. That's really funny that I accidentally duped it to the side. Okay, so but you can't control Yoshi while you're on him. If I try and control him, it doesn't do anything. That's what I'm trying to do right now. But if I dismount him, I can. So if let's see if I can do this right. So I can kind of like telekinesis him upwards. Okay, it glitches out when you're above the screen. But okay. And then also these little message boxes, they're sprites, so you can actually control them. So I can get on this thing, move it up or down. It's like an elevator now. Sucker. Oh no. Whoops. Ha! Think you're so great now, don't you? It's like you're like holding your brother back as he tries to like punch you, little brother. Anyway, that's pretty great. Let's see what else do we got. Oh yeah, the moles over here. So the moles over here are pretty good. Whoops, no. Okay, hold on. Let me eat this guy. No. Okay. Okay. I did move this guy up. Let's see if I can. There's one over here. So yeah, they just wherever they are, they cause this tile to be drawn on the screen. So it's obviously a little glitchy. Oh, there's another mole here. Huh, didn't draw a tile on the screen. Anyway, off you go. Actually clipped him into the ground, that's interesting. How easy is that to do? Oh, interesting. Those guys don't actually... Oh, interesting. It's actually really easy to clip him into the ground. Oh, that's surprising. Alright, cool. Anyway, time is almost up. Let's, yeah, these guys have kind of funny behavior. He goes until he's in the ground. That's interesting. There's another Chuck over here. Ah! Ah! Ooh, that was close. No, okay. I'm just gonna... No! I was at the end. Ah, darn it. I wanted to show you the level. Yes, I can move the gold tape. That's what I wanted to show you. Darn it. I'm just gonna go back there. I'll show you what happens. It's trying to be fancy. Paid the price. Ah. Anyway. Alright. End of the level. Okay, let's see if I can... What? No. Okay, I'm trying to be fancy again. I don't know why. Let's see if I can clip him in here. Oh, he breaks it? What? Aw. That's not... Oh, right. Of course. Of course he does. Anyway, I can just move him off screen. Alright, he's gone. So here we go. I can actually move this, but it doesn't actually do anything. Yeah, you can't collect it here. I mean, I can like move where it is, but it's kind of like just a graphical sprite. It doesn't actually do anything. You actually have to go through here to beat the level. Anyway, that's actually all I wanted to show you. Like I said, I'll be posting a video tomorrow morning at, I don't know, I haven't decided what time, 9 or 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'm not gonna talk about that yet. Yeah. I have some big plans. I've got a couple other things that I am gonna show off. So I should have videos out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday showing off all this stuff and explaining it, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, there will be some mods that I'll showcase that are really cool. And yeah, I don't know, man. This was just really fun to work on. I need to thank some people before I go, though. Cooper Harrison is in the chat. He's the guy who discovered the glitch that lets us do this jailbreak thing. So that he basically discovered the glitch where when you load file C, it lets you run code from the cartridge. So Cooper Harrison is the guy to thank for that. Mr. Cheese helped me a lot with the hex editor. So thank you, Mr. Cheese, also in the chat. And then P4+2 wrote this mod, this telekinesis mod. So also thank you to him for that. This is a really nice demonstration of the capabilities, the modding capabilities. So yeah, I don't know, just watch out for the video tomorrow. I'm going to archive this whole thing on Twitch so that it'll be saved forever. So if you ever want to come back and watch it, maybe you are right now. I don't know. Anyway, that'll do it for the stream. Yeah, I have 2 jailbroken cartridges now. It's pretty sweet. Alright, well thank you everybody for watching. Yeah, check out CoopRocks123E on Twitch and YouTube. Anyway, yeah, and check out the video tomorrow morning. And thanks for watching. Oh yeah, and thanks Amy for helping me with the stream. This is her. Yeah, you're good. Yes. She was helping out with various things during the stream. So. Alright, thanks for watching everybody. I will see you in my videos. Well, no, I guess you'll see me. Anyway, see you next time.